Hi everyone, this is Heidi. Welcome to my blog, and today we are going to discuss ethnocentrism and relativism. What is ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism is judging other cultures based on the preconceptions originating in the standards and customs of one's own culture. It involves looking at another culture from the perspective of one's own culture. So it is the belief that your culture is natural and the correct, while the other's culture are incorrect and natural or inferior. So ethnocentrism leads us to judge people before getting to know them and their way of life or culture. A person who is ethnocentric will shun and look down upon other cultures and the ways they do things. They will have a narrow-minded outlook that fails to see things from other people's perspectives. So ethnocentrism can be a contributing factor to prejudice, racism, and xenophobia. In all these instances, you are considering yourself and your culture to be the best compared to all others. Ethnocentric people think the ways they do things is the way things should be done, and other cultures' way of doing things is unsavory or undesirable. So, ethnocentric individuals judge other groups relative to their own ethnic group or culture, especially with the concern for their language, customs, behavior, and religion. So, these ethnic distinctions and subdivisions serve to define each culture ethnicity's unique cultural identity. Cultural identity such as your religion, your race, gender, age, your language, and so on. In the study of anthropology, ethnocentrism is the term anthropologists use to describe the opinion that one's own way of life is natural or correct. Some would simply call it cultural ignorance. Ethnocentrism means that one may see or his/her own culture as the correct way of living. So an ethnocentric person expects everyone to think and behave like him after. Of course, you scrape away the superficial differences such as colorful clothing, unusual food, quaint practices, and even skin color. So this person also believes his or her culture is the best, superior to all others. American sociologist William G. Sumner, in his 1906 book Folkways, the technical name for the view of things in which one's own group is the center of everything, and all others are scaled and rated with reference to it. He further characterized ethnocentrism as often leading to pride, vanity, the belief in one's own group's superiority, and the contempt for outsiders. So, for those who have not experienced other cultures in depth, can be said to be ethnocentric if they feel that their lives are the most natural way of living. Some cultures may be similar or overlap in the ideas or concepts. However, some people are in a sense shocked to experience differences they may encounter with individuals culturally different than themselves. In extreme cases, a group of individuals may see another culture's way of life and consider it wrong. Because of this, the group may try to convert the other group to their own ways of living. Fearful war and genocide could be the devastating result if a group is unwilling to change their ways of living. Examples of ethnocentrism include religiocentrism. It is defined as the conviction that a person's own religion is more important or superior to other religions. Christians determine their values based on the Bible. Subsequently, they hold strong belief that the Bible is correct. In addition, they believe the choice to lead a God-fearing life was correct. Thus, everyone who was not a God-fearing Christian was wrong. So the next one is cultural relativism. It is the ability to understand a culture on its own terms and not to make judgments using the standards of one's own culture. So the goal of this is promote understanding of cultural practices that are not typically part of one's own culture. So this is opposite to ethnocentrism. The concept of cultural relativism, as we know and use it today, was established as an analytical tool by German-American anthropologist Franz Boas in the early 20th century. So cultural relativism became an important tool for pushing back on the ethnocentrism that often tarnished research at that time, which was mostly conducted by white, wealthy, Western men and often focused on people of color, foreign indigenous populations, and persons of lower economic class than the researcher. So ethnocentrism is the practice of viewing and judging someone else's culture based on the values and beliefs of one's own. From this standpoint, we might frame other cultures as weird, exotic, intriguing, and even as problems to be solved. In contrast, when we recognize that many cultures of the world have their own beliefs, values, and practices that have developed in particular historical, political, social, material, and ecological context, and that it makes sense that they will differ from our own and that none are necessarily right or wrong or good or bad, then we are engaging the concept of cultural relativism. So these are pictures of how the African American culture women were. African American women felt that they can never fit with their real hair, so they chose to straight it to be like other cultures. So this picture is of three girls, and the two girls are picking on one of the African American girl's hair. So what type of cultural perspective would you think this is? If your answer is ethnocentrism, then you are right, because this image is an example of ethnocentrism, because it is thinking that one's culture is superior to another. Now, I will show you an example of cultural relativism. This picture shows two different cultures coming together as one because they accept each other. Therefore, ethnocentrism is the tendency to use one's own culture as a yardstick for judging the ways of other societies. On the other hand, cultural relativism is trying to understand other cultures without judging them by your own culture. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you liked the video, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down. Bye!